So, before the next big video hits the channel, an update is in order regarding the Nazca mummies of the alleged non-human entities, as preliminary results of studies on those carried out in the US have been presented. But before we delve a bit deeper into the subject, I would like to thank everyone who has subscribed and liked the videos, and please like, subscribe and share this video for more content just like this. This last week saw a presentation delivered via the Good Trouble Show podcast. Shout out to Matt Ford, whom I gladly recommend here. He hosted a guest, Dr. Stephen Brown from the Ohio State University, who gathered a group of researchers representing various fields of study centered around medicine and anatomy, who are carrying out various analyses of the Nazca bodies. Their initial results have been presented. The group divided the findings into three categories: the small beings which were presented before the Mexican Congress, aka the Josefina group, the other small beings which according to some resembled the famous mantis aliens encountered by some experiencers, and the Maria group, which is the most human-like in appearance. According to the presented paper, the found specimens are genuine biological materials and were once living beings. The one called Maria was found to be a mummified pregnant female and resembled human beings for the most part, with the most noticeable differences being hands and feet with 3 fingers and toes and an extra phalanx in the bone structure of those. To get it out of the way, let's point out the probably disappointing news. The small mummies might be fake, and the likelihood of that is quite high. The mantid-like mummy is the most obvious case, and the team has an idea regarding how those were made. They arrived at similar conclusions in regards to the mummies like Josefina or resembling the small grey aliens. Their skulls would seem to be ground and polished llama skulls, as was already suggested previously. Dr. Brown also indicated that he has an idea regarding the limbs and how they were prepared. The hypothesis of fake extremities is further supported by the lack of joints in them. What remains a complete mystery at this point in time is the torsos of the small bodies, as the mummies are affectionately called. Currently there is no clear idea as to how those could have been prepared, with hope that further studies shed some more light on the issue. The most curious case are the Maria and Montserrat group of mummies. Those look almost human with the exception of hands and feet with tridactyly, as well as differences in skull morphology. To the best extent of the knowledge the team currently has, those are indeed human, genuine remains of living beings, well, most likely human beings, although before more detailed DNA results are obtained, the team remains very cautious as to the actual origin of those people. They may be humans with congenital disorders, they may be possibly hybrids of humans with other beings, as is still claimed by the results of the original research carried out on the remains in South America. Dr. Brown does not refute the idea of non-human intelligence being the ultimate force behind those finds, though. He mentioned that given the prevalence of tridactyl beings portrayed in human art, perhaps people inhabiting the Nazca area all those centuries ago decided to make the visages of actual beings they have encountered, of otherworldly residents, as a means of paying respects and homage to them. Of course, this is only a hypothesis and a speculation at this point, and one which may ultimately prove to be impossible to ascertain. But it is nonetheless an explanation a scientific mind cannot and should not reject out of hand either. Then there is a question of how and using what techniques would the 3rd century Nazca people make the mummies. Firstly, they would have to have access to high quality materials, but also have unrivaled skills in processing biological materials. The quality of connections between various parts of the mummies suggests excellent precision, not unlike that of modern crafts, and using precision tools. Still, given no indication of any modern mechanical intervention in the mummies, they remain a massive mystery, and as Dr. Brown pointed out, while there are the first answers that we have, the finds opened even more questions that they posed initially. The best we can do is to stay tuned and see what else the group finds, and hopefully there will be more to come from other research groups across the world. Until then, stay tuned and be sure I am going to cover the mummies in the future.